Welcome, guys, to episode 1 of The Watering Hole, presented by the EMH Elephant Money Herd. It is a Saturday night tradition. We're kicking it off. We're starting it. Episode 1, we are in the parabola. Woo. All right. Now, guys, I might have some trouble here because my Zoom room can only hold 100 people. All right. So I think I have... Jed? All right, we got one so far. Excellent, guys. All right, so guys, this episode, all right, we were going to kind of take the opportunity if anyone wanted to share their elephant money story. I was going to recap for you a little community raffle that I'm setting up. If we wanted to check out these charts that are like absolutely on fire, we could talk about those as well. And hey, BT is all about new recruitment strategy of getting your friends and family in, close ones that you know. So we just want to check in, see how that's going. And also, guys, had to do it, but some little hijinks, some shenanigans. I was going to try to gauge any interest in doing a little elephant buy music tourney. All right. So when whenever I buy elephants, I get a little pep in my step. All right. And, I start like jamming out to some of my favorite tunes. So what we would actually do there, guys, anyone interested, we would have like a little draft of our favorite elephant buy music jams. We would set up a tournament. We would listen to everybody's songs and vote on it. That would be like a multi-week process. So if you might be interested in joining that, you can hit me up in Telegram. All right. So I'll put together probably like a little room for that and everything. So, all right. Would anyone like to share their elephant money story? I'm going to also tell people to get in this Zoom room, all right, in the Telegram group, if they want to join. All right. Again, you strike me as a man that probably has an odd sleep schedule. Oh, yes, we got another one. All right, we have somebody else kick in. Perfect. What's up, Dean? Welcome.
Hello.
All right, I gotta see. I gotta get my settings right here. I'm on like this new computer. Pretty crazy. I went for like the big screen. Like my wife has this like huge screen computer, so I'm like, I might need to like see a lot of stuff. And I just want to make sure I have one little setting on. All right. All right. Hey, so does anyone want to talk about elephant money? All right, what drew them to it, how they discovered it, or anything like that? I guess I will I will lead off. So guys, I am like super new to crypto, DeFi scene. Okay. So super new to the crypto, DeFi scene and all that. So I started researching and looking into DeFi probably only a few months ago. I think it was like May, like the beginning, mid of May. I just started like, I don't know, growing up, and I was like, all right, finances, I got to kind of figure this stuff out. And like, I started like investing. I was like, I got to save for retirement and all that stuff. And I was like, this is terrible. All right. Like trying to like invest in stocks and everything, it was awful. So I was like, maybe there's like something else out there. And then, I knew about cryptocurrency. So I started looking into it a little bit. And then I started like searching on YouTube, and I discovered like a couple things that seemed like really interesting. And like one of them that I was kind of like, this definitely has potential. I saw was this thing called yield nodes. and I was like, oh, all excited about it. And like I started an account, and like I made my first crypto purchase and everything. And then I was like, ah, like all right, like I don't really like my funds being locked away for like, it was like 6 months or something before you could like withdraw. So I was like, that seemed like tough. So I started looking around for some other projects and whatnot. And then I ran into um, elephant money. And it was actually like I discovered it like right after the exploit. And so I was just I ran across a couple videos, and then I saw like the chart of it with this crazy, the parabolic rise that I was like, I have never seen anything like that before in my life. And then just this crazy, like, crash down. And I was like, I don't even know, like, what is that? And then I discovered things like flash loans. So I was like, you can loan hundreds of millions of dollars in like 2 seconds. Like, this is like some wild, crazy stuff going on. And so I just started like researching everything there was. And then I started to look into like the protocol a little bit, because like I was just really intrigued by like, the whole shape of that graph and everything. And there's like, like there's like these crazy tokenomics going on in the system. And I didn't even know what tokenomics was. I was like, but so I started like looking at it, and it was like, it seemed like it was very cerebral, all right, very like mathy. And everyone that was creating, like content for it and like writing about it, they all seemed like really intelligent people, like next level kind of like investors and everything. Because like some of the projects, you have these like hype men and everything that are just trying to sell you like a bill of goods. And like this was like really like academics kind of like studying it, breaking it down and everything. And then I just started learning more and more about it, and like just discovered how like intertwined it was with math. And so that's what really kind of drew me to it. I was like, this is absolutely insane. Like this is actually that rise is actually going to happen again. Like that is crazy, And so I started researching it, and like, BT had put together like all the security and everything and all the measures. So I was like this is going to be like really cool. All right. And like this is going to happen again. So I was like totally hooked. I was like, this is one of the projects that like I definitely want to be involved in. So I think I made my first elephant purchase. It was like mid May of this year. So it's only been, like a couple months ago. And then like I bought like a lot of trunk because I didn't know what I was doing, because I was like, oh yeah, like I'll buy like a little elephant and then but a bunch of trunk. But then I started like hanging out more in the community, joined the Telegram group, and then kind of got like a really good education there, because there's like a lot of really super like smart people there. And I remembered I joined the Telegram group, and I just made like this one comment, and I was like, hey, I was thinking about, showing this to some of my friends, but it's like kind of hard to explain it when you're new, so I invested in it, right? And I told my wife, I was like, I found this really cool thing. So I actually invested like some of our money in it. And I was like, it's called elephant money. And she was like, what? Elephant money? Like, what is that? I was like, it's this. And she's like, I can't believe you did that. I was like, oh boy, So I was like, I slept on the couch that night, because I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, hey, another participant here. But it's like it's hard to explain to somebody else, because it's like where do I even start? All right, especially when it's someone that doesn't know a lot about this space, and I like had no idea like how to even explain it at all as well. So I was like, all right, I got to start like studying up on this and being a little more comfortable with it, so I can actually like explain it to other people. All right, or else I'm in trouble. And so, I just started diving in a little bit more. And then in that Telegram group, when I first joined, so I just said, hey, like I want to kind of show my friends this and everything. And then all of a sudden, Mike Dre private messaged me. And this was like I was kind of new. I was new to Telegram, and I knew there was like scammers and everything. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting this private message from somebody, and they seem very friendly, so that's kind of like, red flag right there. And it's Mike, and he's just like, I want you to be able to understand this. He's like, boom, 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 boom. He sent me like almost like his whole link tree. It was like video, 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 like, it was like article, website. I was like, I didn't know if I should like click them at first, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But then I saw like kind of like in the chat and everything that he seemed like he was like a legit guy and everything. So I actually, what I originally thought of this series called The Watering Hole, and it was going to be kind of like people from the Telegram group. Like he was kind of like the inspiration behind that, because I was like, this guy is like super smart, and like there's so many people that are like super smart and savvy in there, and I'm learning a lot from them. So I kind of wanted to be able to incorporate people into one of the shows and everything. So yeah, so since then, guys, like I've been super intrigued by elephant money, because it's like 100% backed by like math, and it's so like this is like really a project that's going to be like very, very special. So I've been like pouring in as much as I can, investing as much as I can into it, because I really think that this is revolutionary stuff. And I was lucky to like stumble upon it when I did, and it was like one of the first projects that I actually got into. And I feel like, well, like I lucked out. I didn't, because a lot of people probably stumble through like all sorts of different rug pulls and flops and everything before they finally find some solid stuff. So I didn't have to go through as many pains as a very big newbie would have to go through. All right. And then like when I started this channel, okay, this was like probably, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago or so. And this was when, like the recovery was kind of slow, so there was like no peanuts out yet, and everything was like, just kind of stagnating. It was chugging along a little bit, but not that great. And like BT was like, he was yelling at us, man. He was all caps, like promote. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go crazy, So I just like created this channel, like Elephant Money Herd, because I wanted it, like I named it like close to the product, because I was like, all right, like I want people to be able to find it, because I wanted to do some educational stuff and everything. So I just kind of like went nuts, and I was like, all right, we're gonna promote, we're gonna take this big or whatever. And since then I've kind of scaled down. I think I was trying to got this waiting room. I got to disable this waiting room now. What am I doing? All right. But yeah, I think I was trying to like run before I was walking, so I was like, all right, now I kind of get it, how to kind of pitch this and everything. So, all right. Anyone else want to share like what their EM story, what brought them to it, or just kind of anything about it? Let's see. I'm getting this waiting room off. All right. You might be muted, but you're allowed to unmute yourself. If you know anything about Zoom. If not, hey, I don't know. We got crypto up there. All right. So we want to chime in about elephant money at all? Yeah. It's just like my first period math class.
I can talk, Bailey. This is Dean.
All right. What's up, Dean?
I'm driving around in the rain, so if you can't hear me, let me know. But yeah, so how I got into it, I've been just dabbling with crypto for 16 months, I guess. I got in because of the Dogecoin thing, and it went nuts, and everybody at work was making, we had guys making 30, 40 grand off of it, and it was insane. And so we all jumped in and lost a bunch of money. And then Shiba Inu came up, and that was the next big thing. And it's like, oh yeah, let's do this. So me and a couple other guys got into that real big. And they launched this whole network on the system, and we wanted to be first and foremost. So we got in and started investing in that. But man, those fees, I think I spent $200 to $300 on fees in the first 2 weeks. They were hitting me up $30 at a time, $40 at a time. And you know, that was over a year ago, and Shiba Inu didn't really take off quite a while after that. So it kind of burnt me and my friends. And after that, it's like, oh, I should probably just stick with the, the Bitcoins, Bitcoin and ETH and stuff like that. So I stopped playing in DeFi for almost a year, and I was just watching YouTube videos. I watch a lot of them all the time, and trying to educate myself on crypto because it was all new to me. I wasn't into it before the whole Dogecoin craze. But I came across Jesse Eccles. He's a real big YouTuber, and I watched some of his stuff. And they had a live AMA, just a chat, kind of like you're doing right now. And I jumped onto that while I was taking my lunch break one day, and I heard him talking to James Pelton. And you guys probably know James Pelton. He's a big YouTuber as well. And he talked about elephant money, and he was real excited about it. And that James Pelton also shared his faith a little bit, his religious Christian faith, and I thought that was way cool because that resonated with me. And after that was over, I found James's YouTube, and he just freely hands out his email address. So I emailed him and we chatted and told him I was interested in some of these things, and he pointed me to Elephant Money again and said that might be a good place to start. Check that out. And so I did. I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is cool. And I don't know much about math, but the whole trunk staking and Stampede was just awesome. And I took 20% of my capital right away and threw it into Stampede. And then I took about 75% of my capital that was in Luna, and it was in the well, it wasn't Luna, it was UST, and I had it in the other protocol. What was that called that crashed? You know what I mean? And it was just sitting there earning 20% a year. I'm like, well, staking on Elephant Money is 80% a year. That's awesome. So I put it all into that, thankfully, right? Or otherwise I'd have nothing right now. And and then I bought a little bit of elephant token, kind of like you mentioned. I'm like, well, if this does really well, that'll take off too, and I'd love to make some profits off of that. But I just took a little bit and put it in there, and this was all April 4th, so it was pre-exploit. And then everything happened, and I just stayed in it, just stuck there, didn't move anything, just watched, got involved in watching everything and reading everything in Telegram, and yeah, been there for every update, watching BT try and work his magic to make this thing get back to where it was and see the direction of the herd. And I've been able to. I'm still a big believer in trunk and that whole side of the equation, and I'm here for the long term. But I've doubled my bag in trunk through the exploit, just buying as much I could off Pancake Swap before this peanuts came out. And it was a pretty big starting pot that I had, so I've doubled it, and I got a big Stampede now, and I'm happy with that. And I was able to increase my elephant a little bit. I just been DCNA into it, like 0.25 BNB every week or every other week now at this point, and just here ready to support everyone and looking forward to it. I did get into some other applications as well, but I'm pretty hesitant to go very far. I'm only in 2 other ones, and this one's definitely my biggest investment, and I'm just looking forward to the next 12 months, 16 months, 18 months. I think it'll be pretty awesome. But yeah, it's kind of heart-wrenching seeing what happened, but the people that are still here and stuck it out and now that are getting in, it seems like they're here for the right reasons, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, no, thanks, Dean. Yeah, I think it was Anchor Protocol. I think is what you were talking about.
There you go. Yeah, it was Anchor.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got out of that and found Elephant, because literally I'd have nothing if I just kept it all there.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost fell into that trap because right before I kind of started really looking into crypto, I was big into like I have like a little bit of like ADHD. Like I get into this craze of like going all in on something. And I was like all in on like credit cards and credit card bonuses and all that kind of stuff. And there was actually one of the guys that I watched on YouTube that, like talks about like the Chase trifecta cards and all that. And like he just like out of the blue started like talking about this anchor protocol thing. And I had no idea what it was. So like I almost kind of like fell into that. I'm glad like I'm glad I didn't. Hey, does anyone else
Absolutely.
want to chime in about elephant money? What brought you here, or any story about it? If not, all right. What else do I got on the agenda? All right. Now, guys, as a little up and comer to the scene, I have a robust like barbershop quartet of followers. My little stampede followers. So I just wanted to throw this out there. First of all, I'm a complete noob because there's a few people that signed up for like my Stampede account, and I didn't realize like I don't know who you are. Like you're not able to like see it, I think, on the site, like if someone signs up. So basically what I'm going to try to do is if anyone that wants to or has signed up and I don't know you have signed up, you need to tell me your address. Basically, for anyone who signs up for like the community wallet for my site is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give every single bonus that I get back in airdrops, because I've been fortunate enough to build up like a decent, really decent position in Elephant. And then also, I won the max depositor. So I have like this pretty flush Stampede account in my own personal account. So I made this the little community wallet. And basically what I'm going to try to do is, especially for smaller folks that might not have tons, like that extra little 0.5% might come in handy. Might be able to build their position a little quicker. And ultimately my goal would be to try to provide enough confidence and education around elephant money where they would feel confident in kind of pitching it to their friends, and then they might be able to kind of throw them a little trunk to get them started, have their own little team and everything. So basically the whole idea behind it is like each of these live shows, what I was going to do is just look at the week, how much of the trunk airdrop the community wallet got. And then we could do like a random raffle where it could be one winner. If the community wanted to split it up, have multiple winners, or they're just like, nah, just divide it all up and give it all back to us. We could kind of decide on that and whatnot. But I figured like that would be a fun thing to do, and it would be like cool to do it kind of like on the live show. To kind of show like all the other communities out there that you should have like transparency, and you need to kind of treat people that sign up under you like correctly and everything. And that's one thing that I really like about the Elephant Money referral system is you can change your partner at any time. Like I had no idea about this, so like at the very beginning, I did invest a little bit into like Drip, and then I'm like, how do I change this like buddy wallet, or how to like you're like locked in to to certain teams sometimes, and it's like, well, what if this person doesn't cover it anymore, or they're not doing right by like the community, like you can't even change it. So I felt like Elephant Money has like a pretty good system for that, where you're kind of not locked in. As long as you have a buddy, you're getting that bonus and everything. So so I really like their system. But yeah, so I decided to try to kind of create a wallet, and envisioning maybe like a lot of smaller spenders if they want to join this, so I can start like throwing the trunk back and everything at them. That would be cool. So I have another little video coming up that highlights this, but just in case anyone that sees that has joined this wallet, I think I might be up to 5 now. Yes, I'm at 5 people. So I know 2 of you. So let me know who you are, and just hit me up with your address. And anyone else who is recruiting friends, lesson learned, guys, that, make sure that they send you their address if you want to like give back to them at all or anything like that. So, all right. Chart chat. Does anyone want to look at some stuff? Some charts? I know Jed likes a good chart. He's been sharing multiple ones, and it's kind of weird. It's like it's getting a little boring almost. Like every single one looks the same. It's like up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right. It's like unbelievable, but I'm not like a super guru when it comes to actually like reading them and whatnot. But I was hoping, or maybe, more when more participants come in, or if any of you guys, you can actually share your screen if you'd like and pull up stuff to show us as well. So that's always on the table, guys. So, just let me know. But yeah, one thing I would share. Oh, hey.
Yeah. So one thing I was interested in is I was just watching your math lesson 3 video the other day. I just finished it today finally, and it was just excellent. And I'd appreciate a bit more of a deeper dive in how to use those graphic calculators. Like I didn't like know how to, like I could follow the formulas, but I want to see like how you did the sliding thing, and like you just kind of pick a point in the future, like what if the LPs drain down to this level, like kind of more of a deeper dive into like how to drive that calculator. Like that, I think that would be super cool.
Yep. Yeah, I actually plan on doing another one like that, because a bunch of people were actually like geeking out over this. Because
yeah, like I was, my eyes were wide open on that one. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not used to this. Like, I'm usually like, I have to like, sell math. I'm like, hey, yeah, like this is actually like useful. But yeah, so I can show a little bit of that. I actually have the graph pulled up. And so basically the graph that I've been using, it's a free online graphing calculator. It's called Desmos, DESMOS. And it's an awesome tool because it's free, and it's being integrated now in a lot of like the educational space. It's like incorporated into textbooks. It's incorporated now into a lot of like standardized testing and all that stuff. So it's probably going to be one of the most well-known in the future if
cool,
if you haven't seen it. So, but
no,
basically,
it's all new to me. Like I'd never even heard of this website before. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah. So what I did was, and I can kind of pull up. First thing I did is I went to Bogged Finance, which is actually like integrated now, like right on the site. Can you guys see like the different web pages I'm going to right now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, what I did was, so I went to Bogged Finance because they have like a lot of really good detailed information, and I just go to it right from the elephant page. And what's nice about this one here is, so you can see like the elephant price right here, and it tells you that that's in the BNB liquidity pool. And you can also, what's nice is change it if you wanted to look at the BUSD chart and liquidity pool as well. But what's nice about it is when you go down to the bottom here, you can actually just click liquidity, and it will actually show you like a really nice, like easy to read snapshot of what's in those liquidity pools right now. And I found it was easier to use this site than Pancake Swap to get all that information.
Yeah, that's one that I'm used to using, but yeah, this looks pretty excellent too.
Yeah, I do like I was using Pancake Swap for a while, and once I came to this site, I just kind of like it seemed like a little easier to find like detailed information, and so I've been using this site, and basically what I did was I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out this constant product formula thing, because that is actually that's the mathematical equation that all of these liquidity pools are built after. And the challenge with elephants was the numbers are so big because there's like
Yep.
trillion tokens.
Right.
And I was like, all right, like this is not, and it doesn't really fit into like traditional calculators very well. But the Desmos calculator is good because it can handle like really big numbers, and you can do like scientific notation like pretty easily and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so, but basically like how it works is I went to, so I went to Desmos, and so the whole idea behind these liquidity pools is it follows this X times Y equals K equation. And this K is just like a fixed number. And I actually updated this from the video. So I actually updated this right before the show today. And right now, what I did was I took our B&B, which is actually in the liquidity pool, and we're up since when I filmed that episode. So we're now up to 36,200 B&B right in the pool. And at the time that I recorded that video, to today, we're down to 134 trillion tokens. It was like 137 when I recorded the video. So I just kind of put these two values in, and you multiply them together. And that creates this like crazy big constant. And that's like the constant, it's called like a relative value. It's just kind of, it's almost like an anchor that you're going to use. And basically every single combination of numbers that fit that relationship lie on this graph. And what's cool about like the Desmos graph on your computer is you can actually just hover over it with your mouse and click on it, and you can like maneuver around, and you'll be able to see like every single value that lies in this relationship here. And then you can actually use this graphing calculator to find things like relatively quickly compared to like, you know, paper and pencil and all that stuff.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So the whole idea behind it is so you have your X and your Y, and you multiply those together, and you just get this constant. And then that's where this shows you all the combinations of those two tokens for that kind of that value and that liquidity pool. And so like when things like come and go, and you know, tokens exchange and take, you know, you take 1,000 out and you put 1,000 in and all that stuff, that combination will still lie on this line, like or in this curve somewhere, which is pretty cool. And so what I did here was when I filmed that math lesson, we were at this blue little ordered pair right here. So at the time, a few days ago, there was 35,600 B&B in the pool, and there was 137 trillion tokens. And notice how we've actually moved down on this curve a little more. So I pulled from today, right before the show here, we were actually up to 36,200 B&B. So people have been buying, putting B&B in, taking elephant out, and we are now at 134.8 trillion tokens. And so you can kind of see like we're even going down a little more on this curve here. And basically, so like how this liquidity pool works is that half of the value is B&B. And then the other half of the value is the elephant token. So what happens is as we move farther and farther down this curve here, we're going to have a lot more BNB sitting in that liquidity pool and less elephant token. So you're going to have a crap ton more value in BNB and less elephant token. So when you do that like price per elephant token, it's really going to skyrocket because you're gaining BNB and there's not as many tokens. So like theoretically, like, this is wild stuff, probably will never happen, but like, what if like Bertha just lasts 1,000 years, and she like eats up this whole entire thing until there's like just one tiny little elephant token in there, so that like every one elephant token would be worth millions of BNB. It's like, it's insane,
Yep. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. But yeah, so like what you could do is like, say if you wanted to pick like a specific place in the liquidity pool. So like right now, we're at that 134 trillion, but I could just pick like whatever number I wanted and just kind of, zoom over and then see how much like BNB I would actually have in the pool there. So like for instance, in my video, I just decided to put, this is 1 trillion. And I decided to just kind of scroll over. And if we keep buying and we get down to just 1 trillion tokens in that pool, then we would have 48,828 BNB in there. Okay, so there's like a lot more BNB in there than what it is today. And there's less tokens in there. So each one of them is going to be more valuable. So that's where like this price appreciation like really shoots up. And I noticed like some people were like kind of describing it as, like supply and demand, like, all right, well, the elephant tokens are going to get more scarce, so they're more valuable. And that's kind of like, that's very similar to like supply and demand. Like, yeah, if it like, something is more scarce, there'd be more demand for it and whatnot. But it really kind of like, it isn't like that because, this has nothing to do with like demand, if it, because, it's all about like the math behind it. And Bertha's like always going to be like purchasing these tokens, so that's what really makes this project in my mind like super neat. It's because, she's like this huge token holder in the system, and she's programmed where she's never going to dump on you. She's collecting and collecting tokens, and just constantly, she's dollar cost averaging all the time. So there's constant buy pressure. And, if we look at all of our holders of the tokens, like there's really not going to be this huge, if everyone, is smart about things, like there's not going to be like these tons of selling. So like this token could really keep appreciating. And even when we get to points where, like this was the 500,000, like the tokens are going to get to a point where it's like very expensive, but Bertha's very rich and she doesn't care. She's buying them every day, so like, these tokens are just going to go down and go down and go down. And, we're probably also eventually going to get to the point where BT might do away with, the buy with Bertha promotion. Maybe, I don't know, but we're going to be just getting reflections from all these sells and buying, and we're going to be building up, reflections are great because, you almost like, you don't have to buy the elephant at this huge price. You're entitled to get some of those percentages, so like I look at it as like, I am buying elephant, not financial advice, guys, but I'm buying like as much elephant as I can, and I'm just going to hold it. So, but it's really
Everything you're saying makes total sense.
Yeah. And I mean, so what's crazy too is like, you know, like if you look at these 2 points that I have highlighted here, so like right here, you have 1 trillion tokens, and those trillion tokens are going to be worth, you know, 48,000 or 49,000 BNB. When we get down this curve even more, you know, now we have just half that many tokens and it's worth twice as much. So like these tokens are just going to be exploding in value. And, you know, I don't think people understand how much it's going to appreciate, because like that, you know, you hit that that first time before the exploit, you know, it was like maybe like a ×9 or, you know, a ×8 in value if you held.
That's a good question. Do we know how far down the scale we were on that previous high? Like that'd be something that's kind of cool to see. It was like how far we made it on that first attempt.
Yeah, someone in the YouTube video today had mentioned, they commented on it that they were, I forget what it was, but they were down to something like, it was like only 75 trillion or something like that. I have to look that up. Another thing to I don't know like all the specifics, like I haven't dug that deep into it yet, but the liquidity pools keep growing and expanding as the protocol evolves, because part of those taxes that, you know, typically like 5% would go to the sell tax, 5% goes to like the reflections, but then I think 5% is going to like that graveyard. And eventually that ends up where it goes back into these liquidity pools. So those taxes like will get dumped back into the liquidity pools. So these liquidity pools will actually keep growing and getting like larger and larger amounts of BNB in them. So that's going to allow the project to keep scaling. So, you know, when like BT's talking about being the next Bitcoin and like this is going to be like, you know, he was talking about how they could be like the Amazon of like the financial sector. Like it's possible. It's really like a unique and innovative setup.
Yeah, plus, I mean, once the liquidity pools are also bigger, if somebody decides to dump, it doesn't have as big of an effect.
Yes, yep, that's correct as well. You know, picture like say if you have a bucket with like you know, like 4 oranges and 4 apples, and you know, someone takes an apple out, you know, like that's like 25% of like that value, you know, that just got, you know, disrupted. Whereas like when you have 1,000,000 apples and 1,000,000 oranges, you take out an apple, it's like barely noticeable at all. Yeah, that's when he says, I think BT had some kind of language at some point where it said that the liquidity like hardens the price. And like sometimes I'm like, BT's like so smart. I'm like, what are you talking about? But so it's like the price is going to become more and more steady and stable over time. And I think too, that's why you notice that like the road to recovery, you have to be kind of patient with it. You know, everyone's like, you know, like, all right, you know, one peg and all this, but like, because these liquidity pools are so deep, like it takes some time, you know, to get down these curves. Like, you know, like people have been on fire going nuts, you know, and it's like, this is how much we've moved on like the little curve, you know, because there's so much value in here that, you know, it's not going to be subjected to like these big fluctuations in price when you do get, you know, like a large volume of cells and everything like that. Where a smaller protocol, you know, if like 1 or 2, you know, well-timed dumps happen, like, you know, it could like really lead to a lot of panic and whatnot. So, but yeah, I'm definitely, Matt, coming out. I'm going to come out with a video that kind of dives just like a little deeper into this. And because a lot of it too is, a lot of this is actually based on calculus, but like I was trying to like just be like, not like blow people out of the water. but I think a lot of people like kind of got that picture because it's really that liquidity pool, and it's really that formula where, you know, the two tokens have equal liquidities. And that's what really makes it. Because like as we keep holding and buying, and we're getting down this chart, you know, there's just more and more B&B and less, you know, less and less elephant, and those are always equal to each other. And that's what really makes it crazy. And so like a lot of protocols never really get, you know, into this area because, you know, they don't have like a Bertha, you know, there's like, you know, the, you know, larger whales, like they'll eventually, you know, make their profits and then they'll sell, you know, and they'll move on to a different protocol. Or, you know, or you're not incentivized to hold long term. So, you know, I don't think that a lot of protocols are set up to really even see, you know, what's going to happen in elephant money. So it's really neat.
Yeah, I think down the road, if you decide to keep working with Desmos on different aspects, I think that's a great idea. I've used Desmos and for a degree that I got, and it was really, really easy to use. We might have you for an intro. We might have you just draw the elephant logo or BT's logo with Desmos.
The art, yeah, I mean, people, you can do art and animation on this stuff. It's, yeah, you can get really hardcore with it. It's a lot, no, it's a lot of fun, and it is very easy to use. And what is nice too is because there were some comments about sharing maybe some of these graphs in like the Dune dashboard and everything. And like, I want to make this a little like more prettier, you know, over here, but you can actually share graphs like this particular graph, and anyone could open it up and interact with it. So I'll definitely probably put some of those together so people can, you know, kind of play around with it and everything, and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just visual learners, just like me. And if you decide to do more with it, I think it definitely be appreciated. Or one other idea could also be, you know, when you went to Bogged, you know, I've used Bogged and Dex Screener and, you know, sometimes CoinMarketCap for the easy things. But you can see the volume, you can see so many things. And I think part of it is also, we have so many people who use so many different tools. Maybe you could just also make a video one day to for people to see like, hey, these are the most common ones that we use to keep track of different aspects of elephant and trunk.
Yep. Yeah, you know, because yeah, definitely. Just being in like the education space, like a lot of people, I think, take things for granted. You know, like, oh yeah, people know that, people know this. You know, that's like really basic. Like this is like crazy stuff going on. And like the learning curve to just get into this space is like super, super steep. You know, so I think, you know, if we, because I'm going to be focused like 100% on elephant money, you know, because I know, you know, some YouTube channels and stuff like will cover a lot of different projects, but there's like enough meat here to like really just dive into this one thing. And you know, yeah, it's hard, like getting people's comfort level up is huge, and it'll be huge for the protocol because, you know, you can speak to the protocol a little better. If you understand it a little better, you'll feel more comfortable kind of reaching out to like those friends and family members and everything. Where, you know, like I was perfectly comfortable with like, you know, talking about elephant, you know, to my friends, because I know like this is solid. And I understand it all, you know, but I wouldn't talk to them about some of the other, you know, things that, you know, I was in, because I was like, it's all subject to kind of like human manipulation, where this really is like an incredible system. But yeah, I mean, just more education around it, I think it will really help everyone just get a little more familiar with it and get more successful with it. So that's definitely one of my goals, is to kind of you know, just kind of focus in on like the basics, like how can you get comfortable with it and have some success with it. So yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, anyone that has like suggestions and everything, you know, if you think of something, yeah, definitely just, you know, share it with me and let me know. All right, what else we got going on here? Anyone want to share any updates on their recruitment or anything like that? How those efforts are going? Or any strategies or anything that has actually worked or along those lines?
I mean, I've gotten in touch with people over the official Telegram group who are frustrated because they couldn't figure things out because of a language barrier or other things. And so that's how I started building my team. It was mainly frustrated people who couldn't figure this out because it's just so complex. There's just so much to it. And so I just spent some time and, have personal conversations with them. And that turned out pretty well. So I only have a couple people on board because I've also been pretty busy with being an adult right now. But I think if we see somebody who doesn't seem to be a scammer, a spammer, and you simply think they could use some help, it's nice to engage with them. Because we've
She's having a
also
shower.
seen
What do
a
you
lot
want?
of people from
Wait
different
for her.
countries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of the things that I kind of ran into was you know, because I have like 10, you know, like a close, you know, group of like 10 like really good buddies. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're starting this investment thing up. You know, we're, you know, they're sick and tired of me like talking about elephant money and stuff. But so about like 5 of them are really kind of into it. But then like getting them to actually like come to my house or, you know, meeting them on Zoom because like everyone's busy and they're adults and everything. And they probably don't understand when I'm like, guys, you're going to be rich. It's like seriously, like you could maybe retire next year if the, you know, things work out the way they are. And, you know, a lot of people that aren't involved in like crypto or anything probably like have no concept of like the potential of this and everything. But so yeah, I keep like and then one of my friends finally came over to my house and it took me it was like an hour and a half, you know, because I'm like rambling on and everything. But at the end of it, he was like, yeah, like, all right, this is great. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, so, you know, first thing we'll do is we'll make sure that, you know, we set up an account, you know, and it was like, I think it was like crypto.com or something. And so like, you need your checking account. And he's like, whoa. Like, I don't want my money stolen. I was like, what? I was like, well, what are you talking about? Like, so a lot of people like think like crypto, like, you know, so he was like, I have to create a separate bank account for this, like, you know, so there's a lot of like hurdles to get people that are like completely new to the space, like I'm finding where it's just very time consuming to really explain like everything to somebody completely new because you not only do you have to explain like the elephant money component to it, but then you have to explain just whole like everything else along with it. So you know, so I think like maybe like because I was going crazy. I'm like, I'm gonna like pitch it to like every single, you know, college kid in the universe. And then like BT's like, dude, stop it. You know, so I think, you know, like trying to like focus more on like people that are like very close to us or, you know, that are already kind of in the space and a little comfortable with it probably is a good like starting point to kind of get some more people in. Any
Yeah,
other
and
thoughts on that?
just in general, just being helpful, I find really works because I've also helped a couple people whose wallets got wrecked. And so I walked them through the whole thing of revoking contracts and, how to keep their Telegram a little bit cleaner, avoid all the getting added to random groups and getting so many random messages and just in general, just awareness about safety. I think that's a big one as well. And then once people see that your intentions are good, then they automatically gain more trust, and then you just take it from there.
Yeah. and one of the reasons I really like our Telegram group is it seems it's like super solid as far as, everyone, there's a lot of like really, really helpful people, and all the kind of fishy activity, the admins really do a good job of kind of shutting that down really quickly. But every once in a while you see somebody that like got into like the phony elephant money group. Yeah, and it's really kind of, I don't know, there's a lot of things you need to be aware of. It's one of the things that kind of shocked me, and was like just on YouTube, like almost every night there will be Elon Musk and Kathy Wood and everybody talking about how great crypto is, and they're going to give you free Bitcoin and Ethereum, and all you have to do is send one Bitcoin to them, and they're going to send you, 2 or 3 back. Every night there's at least a couple things on this that have like 60,000 views. It's just, there's so many traps out there. So I think having like a little like, hey, beware of this, like a go-to resource, would be really good for people that are new to it as well. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, so if you came in a little late, so what I'm going to be doing is anyone who wants to, because I always get a little kind of pep in my step when I purchase another little stash of elephant token. Sometimes I like to jam out to a little music. So anyone that wants to can just shoot me a little message in Telegram, and we'll have a little music tournament. Okay. And what's really neat about this, I actually did these with a bunch of my friends all throughout COVID. So like 2 years of like COVID where like no one was, interacting with each other or anything like that. We were doing these crazy music tournaments where we would actually have a draft. So like round 1, everyone like picks like their best song. Round 2, and then we would actually set it up in like a tournament bracket. And then like every night, we would have 1 round be sent out to you. You listen to everyone's songs. It was really cool. And then you voted on the winners, and like we tabulated it all. It was through like Google Forms and everything. And we had like a really fun time, and it creates a lot of camaraderie, and like music is something that like almost everybody has in common. Everyone likes at least some kind of music and everything. So if anyone's interested in that in the room, or if you catch the video of this, just shoot me a little message in the Telegram group. So yeah, I'll be interested in that. And so I'll get you like your information. I'll just need like your email address or anything. So it'd be a little fun thing that we could check in on as well, for each of these little watering hole things if you wanted to do that. All right. Anyone else have anything for the good of the order? All right. Open mic. Any comments?
Yeah, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing. Appreciate the math formulas. It really explained to me how the whole supply shock thing, like the math behind it, right? I've always heard supply shock, right? Never understood what drove it, right? So this really helps.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I was like, all right, 47-minute math video, like, but everyone's like, everyone here is like, well, yeah, I guess so. I got good reviews on that. So I'm definitely going to be, I think I'll try to definitely do more of like the math and like kind of diving into it and try to make it, just not over the top crazy, but, understandable, because this is like so grounded in math. That's what really makes me comfortable about this protocol. I have like the utmost respect for, for Bank Teller as far as his experience goes and his intelligence. And, he always does his due diligence, and he's very security minded and oriented and wants the project to succeed. He had to smack me down, like, because I was like trying to like run before I walked with, recruitment and all that and everything. But, he's like, I'm fully confident that this is going to be successful. So, I definitely want to, and I think more and more people are going to be coming to this protocol, and more people are going to start discovering like my channel and getting more of like SK's information. And so to have like resources and everything in place for them when they do discover it is going to be helpful. So thanks, guys. I appreciate your, the kind words. I appreciate your support, actually showing up to this crazy thing. I didn't know how it was going to go. I was like, but no, I appreciate it. They'll get better. This is the first episode. It's live. So thank you everyone for joining. It's about like 1 hour, so that'll be like perfect. All right. And Stuckman's in here. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. You were like, you didn't watch the whole math video. I saw you in like Telegram, like, just give me the Cliff Note version. Like, you're one of those guys. Yeah. Check it out. It's actually pretty good. All right. Well, thanks guys. I appreciate it. So I'm going to be signing off for the water hole, but I'll be back next week, so check it out. All right. Till then, guys, let's enjoy our time in Elephant Money. It's exciting time to see all these things happening. So take care out there. All right. Thank you, guys.
Have a good weekend.
You
Thanks.
too.